I've been flying since I was 15 years old. I soloed for the first time on my 16th birthday. I got my private pilot's license on my 17th birthday, and now I've made the next big decision for my aviation journey. I will be attending the Florida Institute of Technology in the fall of 2023, and I couldn't be more excited. Now on this channel, I've explained to you so many different things about all of the routes that you can take to a professional flight deck. But in this video, I'm going to focus on my decision to hopefully help you make an informed college choice. So if you're interested in that, that video is coming up right now. Welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, then let me introduce myself. My name is Luke, and I'm a 17-year-old private pilot in upstate New York. Over the past 2 years, I've used this channel to document my journey from student to professional pilot, and I share all of my aviation experiences, good and bad, with you. So there is no secret as to where I did end up picking to go to school. I have chosen the Florida Institute of Technology, also known as Florida Tech or FIT, in beautiful Melbourne, Florida, to continue my academic and flying career. Now there are a lot of reasons that I chose this school, so let me dive right into it. Now reason number one is location. I always like to make the analogy that if you want to be on Broadway, you go to New York City. If you want to be on Hollywood, you go to California. And if you want to be a pilot, you go to Florida. The reason for this is simply the weather. There are more flying days in Florida with VFR beautiful weather that is good for single-engine pistons than anywhere else in the country. It's better than the Northeast, it's better than the Midwest where a lot of schools are, and overall, who doesn't want to fly in the winter time when it's 60 degrees and sunny? Not only is the weather a pro to the location of Florida Tech in Melbourne, but also the industry. You are located on the Space Coast, which has Miami only about an hour south, Orlando about 45 minutes to the west, and not to mention all of the smaller cities along the way. There are an overwhelming amount of innovative and new companies emerging all along that region, and there are so many jobs for pilots and for every aviation niche. My second reason for Florida Tech is, of course, the flight program. Now that's pretty vague, so let me break down a few of the points that makes FIT stand out. Probably the biggest thing that I was looking for when choosing a university was the ability to show up to school on Monday and be able to fly by the end of the week or as soon as possible. At many other competitive universities like Florida Tech, you won't fly for your entire freshman year and not even be able to see the cockpit until you are a sophomore, and at some, even your junior year. This is something that I never wanted to have to deal with. I have my private pilot's license now, and I did not want to take a break in flying to then go get my instrument rating. I wanted to fly on Monday in New York and move to college that next day and be able to fly within a week or two. And you're able to do that at FIT. Not only is the aircraft availability and instructor availability good, also the airplanes themselves are of the highest quality. I personally took a few tours of the facility 2 years ago, and then last year when I did Loop for the Troops, which is my charity flight, and if you haven't seen that, make sure to go check it out. And both times I was amazed at how well kept the airplanes and facilities are. The buildings at the airport that Florida Tech owns and operates out of are absolutely beautiful. It's a great environment to learn how to fly, and not to mention that all the airplanes are practically brand new with glass panels and all new avionics, so they're super nice and it's a great place to continue your aviation journey. One of the more debatable topics about Florida Tech, Embry-Riddle, Jacksonville University, which are kind of the big three for aviation universities in Florida, is the airport that it is at. A lot of people choose to go to Embry-Riddle, which is a fine school, but in my opinion, it's not my top choice, and I really had no interest in going there. And I'll give you the reasons. Number one is that Embry-Riddle is located in a Class Charlie airport, and Florida Tech is located in a Class Delta airport. Now, if you're not a pilot, basically what that means is that it's more time consuming and more difficult to get in and out of a Charlie airport than it is a Delta. This means that there are much more delays, there's much more traffic, and there's overall less time to train out of the Class Charlie Airport, which is Daytona Airport, where Embry-Riddle is based. Now, opposed to Florida Tech, which is that Class Delta Airport, that's a lot easier, and there isn't as much traffic and delays and buildups as there is at Daytona. This allows students to fly more and not pay for as much time of a propeller spinning on the ground and wasting money. Now, that isn't to say that Embry-Riddle is a horrible school, because they've built a reputation that keeps kids going to there every year. But for me and my situation, I had no interest in going there. My final and personal opinion on Florida Tech, which I'll include because maybe this will help you in thinking about one high schooler to another, is the environment on campus. I personally didn't want to go to a school that was only pilots. I wanted to go somewhere that was diverse, that had scientists and business majors and pilots. And also, I originally thought that I would love a big school, but upon visiting Florida Tech, I realized that I really enjoyed the small community and being able to walk anywhere on campus within 10 to 15 minutes tops. That was something that I definitely didn't expect, but I'm so glad that I visited the university, and I also visited a big school and got to see the difference. So I definitely recommend that you go make that decision for yourself by seeing these places and deciding where you can see yourself. Don't think about what your friends are saying. Don't think about where your high school friends are going to school. Just worry about yourself. Think about your end goal and what you want to achieve with your degree and in the 4 years you're at college, because it's not cheap, and make that decision based off of your gut feeling. So that's all I have for you today. You can probably expect a metric ton of videos once I move to Florida, flying, and hopefully I'll be able to work with Florida Tech and be able to put out some really cool content for all of you to experience what it's like to be a collegiate aviator. So until next week, I want you to stay current, stay proficient, and keep the blue side up. Keep flying safe, everybody, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.
Come fly away with me. Imagine all the things that we could see. Yeah, don't you know that life's a dance? Come take